What's going on, everyone? So UFC 311 is now upon us, and today we're going to be taking a look at the main event, Islam Makhachev versus Arman Tsarukyan 2. Now, with this being a rematch, it means we have a ton of film to go off of from their previous fight, which was a very competitive one. Now, these guys were much younger in this fight, so their skills have definitely evolved over time. I mean, Arman was 22 when he fought Islam Makhachev. That's just insane. And the way he fought in that fight, you would figure that he's in his prime at about 30 years old. And yeah, technically he only landed one takedown on Islam, but his wrestling was perfect in that fight. I mean, he was able to go toe-to-toe with a great wrestler and forced Islam into some tough scenarios. I mean, he tried to lock up a guillotine at one point. He had his own chances on the ground with reverses, and overall, he put up a really good fight against a very tough dude that nobody in the division wanted to fight. And Islam was also superb in that fight. Every time Arman had a chance to take Islam down, he would pretty much reverse it and end up in a good position. I think when these two engage in wrestling exchanges in this fight, it's going to be very close. I think Arman will have his moments. I think Islam will have his moments. And I think it's really going to come down to what happens on the feet. And as we've seen recently, both of these guys have really developed a strong striking game. I mean, take a look at Arman in his last fight with Charles Oliveira. He was doing well on the feet and was able to hit Charles a couple times and actually hurt him. And that's the same for Islam Makhachev. I mean, look what he did to Alex Volkanovski, and look at his most recent fight against Dustin Poirier. He was holding his own on the feet, and he was winning some of the striking exchanges with Dustin. I expect this fight to be super high level from both sides. I think we're going to see a lot of great stuff in this matchup. I think both guys are going to have their moments, but who do I think is actually going to win? I mean, it's obviously tough to pick against Islam at this point because he's just been so good and so dominant for a while now against a lot of top contenders. But Arman seems like the type of fighter that would be perfect to try and dethrone Islam. He's able to match him in the wrestling. He's able to hang with him on the feet. And I think over 25 minutes, his cardio is going to be able to keep up with Islam's as well. I mean, look at Arman Tsarukyan. The guy is completely shredded. He's in the best physical shape of his life, and he is going to bring everything he has to try and get that belt off of Islam. And I definitely believe that Arman's skills have gotten a lot better since their first fight, and he put up a great fight in that first fight, arguably gave Islam one of his toughest fights that he's had in the UFC. The way I see this fight playing out is both guys having their moments in the wrestling exchanges. Both guys are going to go to the ground. Both guys are going to win certain positions, but ultimately, I don't think it's going to lead to any submissions. I think that the most likely outcome in this fight is probably going to be a decision with either guy edging it out slightly, but if a knockout were to come, I'd probably give it to Islam. I think the difference in the fight is going to be the striking. I think that Arman, he has gotten better in his striking, don't get me wrong, but so is Islam. And from what I've seen from Islam in his past couple fights on the feet, I don't know if Arman's going to be able to hang with him, because at the end of the day, Charles was also having his moments on the feet versus Arman, and other guys have had their moments as well in the past. So I think what's going to happen here is we're going to see both these guys be super competitive. It's going to be a close fight, but ultimately Islam is going to edge it out on the scorecards. I think if a knockout comes, it's going to be from Islam, but I really do think what's going to happen is Islam's just going to end up winning a lot of the striking exchanges. He's going to hurt Arman, and he's going to then go to his wrestling, and he's going to get those takedowns, and it's ultimately going to lead him to win the fight. But this is a super tough fight to pick. Like, don't get me wrong, Arman could definitely go in there and have his way on the night. I think if there is a guy that's going to beat Islam at this point, it's going to be a guy like Tsarukyan who can match him in all aspects of the game. But I still don't think he's at the level. I think that Islam Makhachev, the dude is just a beast. He's on a different level right now, and I think to pick against him would just be silly at this point. So my official prediction is going to be Islam Makhachev to win this fight via decision. I think on the feet he's going to be a bit better, and in wrestling I think he still will be a little bit better. I think that Arman is very close, very good, but Islam is still just a step above. Let me know what you guys think though. Who do you have winning this fight, Islam or Arman? Let me know down below in the comments and give your reasons as to why. Thank you all for watching this video. Be on the lookout for a ton of videos this week. We're going to be talking about so many fights on this card. This card's absolutely loaded for the first pay-per-view of the year, so there's definitely a lot to talk about. Thank you all for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you all in the next one.